My name is Sasikumar. I'm 38 years old, Singaporean. I was a former Singapore international. Played for the Singapore national team for over 8 years. Played professional football for almost 12 years. And since my retirement, I have been actively working in sports marketing. I do a lot of events, consultancy in the region, also in Singapore. And I'm also a father of 2 kids. And most of my life has been spent living in Singapore. I grew up in Ang Mo Kio, block 476 and Avenue 10. We used to live in a HDB flat, 3-bedroom flat, if I remember correctly, with my siblings and my mom and dad. I have an elder brother and a younger sister. The memories of growing up in Ang Mo Kio, it's great because it was where I started playing a lot of football, playing a lot of sports, making a lot of friends. We had that kampong spirit in Ang Mo Kio. Everybody knew each other. No matter where you came from or which block you came from, people knew you in which part of the area you lived in. So growing up was great. The memories were excellent. I went to Chong Boon Primary School. I was really looking forward to going to school because I enjoyed playtime. I used to go to school early, used to kick about the football. Couldn't wait for recess time. Obviously kicking around there, and after school didn't used to go home because just was playing football or involved in some sort of ECA or CCA, which is called now. At that time we were known for our football. Football was quite popular in the school and in the region. Chong Boon Primary School was good in that zone. I used to play hockey as well. I was really good at hockey. At that time, maybe even better than football. That was my school life. I really looked forward to it because I really enjoyed playing sport, and I was looking forward to it every day. I think it was a bit different growing up. You grow up with your neighbors, you play a lot of football with your neighbors, and of course when you go to school, I was part of my school team, so you play with your schoolmates. But because we are all from this area, a lot of them happen to go to the same school, so we were friends in school and outside of school as well, in that sense, neighbors. These are the people that I grew up with, and unfortunately who I've lost contact with over the years. Yeah. Yeah, if you're growing up in my era, a very famous sport or game for boys would be called hantam bola. Which is basically to get a tennis ball and try to beat the hell out of each other. Alright, so people will be running around and there will be a tennis ball which will be the center of attraction. The idea is to hit somebody really hard. Okay, so it's a bit weird, but these are the things that we used to do during our time, and on the hindsight it was quite enjoyable. Unfortunately, I can't play hantam bola with my sons just yet, but at some stage I will. But because again, it's just one of those things over time that just withers off, and you don't see those games anymore. It's such a pity because there were some nice games. I still remember that 5 stone, and the girls used to play 0 point and all that sort of games that we don't see it anywhere now. Growing up, we were really scared of our dad because obviously he was someone who instilled a lot of discipline in myself and my brother, who was older. We had a lot of liberty, but we knew exactly what time to get back home and study or eat or whatever, sleep. But we had a lot of time. I mean, when I compare that to kids these days who have to do 101 things on the weekend, we didn't have all that. Maybe you can call it luxury, but I would like to say a bit more liberty. We went out there, we were either swimming or we were catching spiders, or walking in the drains, or where the CTE is at the moment used to be a huge slope down, and there was a huge monsoon drain where we used to go in there and catch guppies and fish and all that. That used to be our playground, which is not there anymore. These are the sort of things, very adventurous things that we used to do, and that probably made us a bit more street smart in that sense, because we got our hands dirty, and we're not afraid to get down and dirty and enjoy us in the process. Yeah, one of the things I can clearly remember is the MRT line. By then we already moved from Ang Mo Kio to Yishun, We were living in the Khatib area. The MRT line only stopped at Yio Chu Kang, and again it was quite an adventure for us to take the bus to Yio Chu Kang and then jump on the MRT to town. And already then we were already going to the National Stadium in Kallang and watching the Malaysia Cup. So that was an adventure. And you know, when they extended the MRT line to Khatib, it was a huge event for all of us in Yishun, I suppose. But that was something that really sticks out. Back then, I think technology wasn't readily available. You didn't have your iPads, iPhone, internet, and all that. So we grew up in the era where appointments were appointments. You had very little communication with people in that sense. No WhatsApp, no all that social media and stuff like that. So in that sense, I suppose we had this community feeling because that's the only way we could entertain ourselves, and maybe a bit more closely in the sense that we treasured the time that we had with each other, because we knew that when we walk away from that game or the playground, we only see each other next day. There will be no communication. So we sort of grew up treasuring friends and friendship and that sort of stuff. Fast forward to now, I think the kids got everything. You can FaceTime, you can Skype, you can do whatever, How many kids do you see actually playing outdoors? I have 2 kids, and every time, and one of the things that I really encourage my son to do is go out and play, because I think that's where you hone your skills of social skills and all that. But kids these days are just on the computer, iPad, PS3, your Xbox, it's just one way, isn't it? It's just, non-interactive. You don't interact with humans, you're only interacting with machines. I'm certainly one, especially for my kids, I would encourage them to be outdoors, and I want them to be outdoors, and I spend time on the weekend being with them outdoors, because I think that helps in the social setting when they get a bit older. That's what we did back then, it was all about interpersonal relationships with people and stuff like that.